Já budu mluvit anglicky, my budeme mluvit anglicky, takže pro vás, kdo jste si vyzvedli sluchátka, teď je ten čas si je nasadit. And let's start. So, good morning, hello, nice to see you. My name is Eliška Bartošová, and I warmly welcome here and Berit, who came all the way from Norway, brought snow and cold weather. Thank you. And is a Secretary General in Norwegian Library Association, with which we, as the Czech Republic Libraries Association, were in close partnership for the last 2 years. It all started in 2020 when the Czech Republic Libraries Association, ZDRUK, we found the opportunity to fund the infrastructure development of cultural institutions through EEA grants and Norway grants. We've seen it as an opportunity to strengthen and professionalize ZDRUK so that it can be more useful to its members and also non-member libraries and the whole library field. So we started looking for the possible partners. And through the former director of Oslo Library, we found the Norwegian Library Association, and we got into contact. And you said yes. What was your motivation to go to this partnership?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me here. It's nice to be in Prague. Well, the motivation, first of all, it was an interesting project. And it was a project that I thought that the Norwegian Library Association can contribute to. My association is over 100 years old, so we have some experience. Another motivation was, of course, the possibility to do international networking. My organization has an action plan which says that our association should try to work with international organizations and partners. So by doing this project, we could accomplish one of our goals. And also, an international project is also a way to promote our organization back home. We will inform, for instance, the National Library about this project, and the National Library is doing some funding for us. We will also talk about this project to other possible partners. And I think also that doing an international project will make my organization more attractive to other projects. And as Eliška said, it was the former library director of Oslo who contacted us about this project. And the fact that she knew the library director of Prague and the president of ZDRUK, Tomáš, it also influenced how we viewed this project and how we perceived it. So I will also say that international contacts and network is really important, because you never know when you can benefit from it and need it when you need looking for a partner, for instance.
Thank you, thank you. And can you continue and tell us a little bit more about the Norwegian library field? How does it work in Norway? I will jump into the next slide, so if you can introduce us.
I'll talk first of all about the Public Library Act. It was revised in 2013, and the main change was the text about that the public libraries must be an independent meeting place and an arena for public conservation and debate. And this new Library Act has had a great impact on the library development for the last 10 years. After 2013, the National Library also spent quite a lot of money on implementing these changes in libraries, how to make the libraries an actual meeting place, and how to arrange events like public conversations and debates. The project money also could found how there were some libraries who needed to change the library space. They got money for constructing stages, and to buy different kind of equipments like loudspeakers and microphones. And also there was a special person at the National Library who for a period of time only task was to implement this new Library Act at the libraries. And in 2015, there were 21,000 events in the libraries. The year after, it was 47,000, then it was 50,000, and in 2019, it was almost 64,000 events going on in public libraries as public debates and conversations. You can do more. Yeah, I think it's important to talk about the Norwegian geography. As you can see, it's quite a big country, but it's not a very many people. The country is 385,000 square meters, but we are only 5.4 million inhabitants. So there is a lot of small libraries. 20% of the libraries have less than one full-time position, and the average library has about 5.2 full-time positions. And there is a lot of distance for some citizens to reach their public library. The structure of the libraries are, there are two different ministries involved in the libraries. It's the Ministry of Culture and the Ministry of Education. Public libraries is a part of a national library system. You got the National Library, and then you got county libraries, and then you have public libraries in all municipalities. And you also got school libraries. School libraries are included in the National Education Act, which says that all pupils must have access to a school library. And then, of course, you have got academic and research libraries. They are not part of any particular act or law, and it is like the universities or the colleges who own the academic libraries. Yeah, you can continue. This is kind of different kind of libraries we got in Norway. You got the big, new and very famous new library in Oslo. It's been really popular since it opened. But you also got very small libraries, and you got mobile libraries, etc. I was asked, how do we network nationally? Consider the geography and the long distances. And national conferences are often hosted by the National Library. They've got an annual conference for library directors. They also have an annual conference with different projects that has been founded by the National Library, and the projects are now our president at the conference. Regional conferences hosted by the county libraries. County libraries days, this is often called, with different current topics. Several county libraries also host digital meetings for local library directors to discuss library management, for instance. And employees at the county libraries also travel a lot to visit their local libraries. And my association hosts every second year a big library meeting, like the one you had in Olomouc. We had this meeting last March, and it was about 500 participants. Our association also have expert groups, like experts group for medical libraries or expert group for multicultural libraries. And these expert groups also have their own small meetings or small conferences. And at the end, something about our current topics. What is my association doing today? And like the Czech, there is a national strategy for library in the Czech Republic, and we also have a national library strategy in Norway. And this strategy is going to be revised during this spring. So we have been invited to suggest new topics for the strategy and also suggest which areas in the old strategy need more attention and focus. The government is also going to launch a national reading strategy, and my association has made input for the Ministry of Culture that we want a long-term strategy. We don't think that our reading challenges can be fixed by like a one-year campaign. We also want the reading strategy to be a strategy for everyone, not a strategy directed to only a certain part of the population. And we have also suggested how to use the library in this work. The government has also made an action plan to reduce the digital gap in the population, and our association has suggested how to use the library in this action plan and how the libraries must cooperate with other local public services. And this will require increased resources for the libraries. There is also an election in the autumn. So we are making some guidelines for the libraries and how to make invitations for politicians, so there can be really public and political discussions in the libraries just before the election.
So as you can see, there are some differences in how the library system works in Norway and in the Czech Republic, but at the same time there are also many common challenges and topics. And kind of in both cases we believe it's important to unite, to get together, to form strong associations and partnerships and develop the library field like together for the benefits of the whole society. ZDRUK, Združení knihoven, the Association of Libraries, at the beginning was a platform for region libraries only, and just relatively recently it opened itself to other members, like specialized libraries are members, university libraries, and also municipal libraries, the city libraries that you can find in bigger cities. Because there was a strong feeling that managers of those libraries shouldn't be left alone between their founders and their employees, and to deal with the operation, laws, regulations, and directives that come from above, while at the same time being expected to develop their libraries towards the ever-changing needs of the society and their users, and navigating their stuff through the changes, doing strategic work, doing strategic decisions, creating an environment where the organization can constantly improve their service for citizens, and being able to convince their founders and the public that the library nowadays is much more than just the bookshelves. So in the big libraries, or at least in some of them, are designated employees or sometimes maybe even departments for some of the tasks. In municipal libraries, it's often that this all is a job of only one person, the manager. So there was this belief that they deserve some extra support. Of course, we know that there are others, like the Library Institute and the SKIP, the Association of Library and Information Professionals of the Czech Republic, who are already giving great support to people in libraries. But we are talking about some place exclusively for managers, where they can come for expert advice, but also for moral support, where they can share their experience, learn from each other, or from experts from outside, and a safe space where they can just share their success and struggles. Because at the end of the day, the employees, librarians, and users are those who will benefit when the manager is taken care of. And this project that we had together, thanks to Norwegian funding, helped us create the infrastructure, so we were able to invite and accommodate 31 new members, out of them 27 are municipal libraries. The whole new section was created for those municipal libraries that are now 49 in total. And the representative became the part of the strategic and executive bodies of the association, so their needs and wishes are now much more strongly present in the agenda of ZDRUK. We were able to organize some activities for managers and also for non-member non-member libraries to participate, mostly focused on the soft managerial skills and leadership and the training. Like, for example, change management, creation and fulfillment of strategies, team development and growth, training in nonviolent communication tools. And although we are somehow still at the beginning, we know where we are heading and what do we need to focus on, thanks to the development plan we prepared and agreed on with all members. It became clear other advantage of uniting when it comes to collaboration with big partners on the national scale, where a single library would be hard to reach and hard to make arrangement with. The association can be a gateway and the mediator of the win-win-win collaboration. Thanks to the Norwegian funding, we pilot tested such collaboration on the Digital Odyssey project with Vodafone Foundation, Elpida and Modrá Sovička, where we bridged the library world with business and two other partners from the third sector in favor of reducing the digital gap among seniors who, thanks to the project, can enter and approach new service we built, and they can, thanks to this, enter the digital online space safely and in their own time with a little help from the awesome librarian. During our partnership, we also exchanged the know-how through the internship in Oslo and some regular online meetings. And we also organized the open online discussion libraries for challenging times, a Czech-Norwegian debate on topics that resonate. And the recording is available. It's open and it's free for you to see if you want to know more about some common topics we have with the Norwegian library field. And of course, we were able to invite our Norwegian colleagues to the conference library of today. The president, Vidar Lund, was giving a keynote speech about the public library as a democratic space. And we can have Anne with us today. So Anne, what have you experienced thanks to the project? And how did you like olomoucké tvarůžky?
Oh, well, it was interesting. Of course, we have also learned a lot. We have learned a new country, a new organization, a new library field, new people, and contacts. We got to know different kind of projects in the Czech Republic, how you work. It has expanded our international understanding and the importance of international connections. And as you said, during the internship, we got to visit your meeting in Olomouc last September. And for me personally, it was also interesting to see this conference because I organize our own conference back home. So it's nice to me to see what kind of keynote speakers do you invite, how do you organize things, who do you invite, etc. How do you host a conference actually? I also see that we have a lot of common challenges. I find it really fascinating how much librarians think alike. You have the same professional ethics, you have the same dedication to your work and for the library users, and how the users have their democratic rights to access knowledge and information. When we came to Olomouc and entered the conference, review. It was like coming home. You can spot a librarian, I think, quite easily. It was like a conference back home. So the project has absolutely been an inspiration for our own work back home. And of course, the personal contact we developed during this time. We had a lot of Zoom meetings. So it's been inspiring and fun.
Thank you. One of our common topics we found is sustainability, of course. And this way I'm coming back to the topic of the conference today. As you all probably know, the last 2 years in Czech Republic were focused on the sustainability issues. We were diving deep into sustainable development goals, and we were educating ourselves, inviting experts and partners, and exploring the possibilities how our libraries can make an impact in sustainable development, and how to invite our users and founders and general public to participate. We will hear about the Norwegian experience later in the afternoon from 3 p.m. from Anne. And I would like now to switch to Czech and invite Martina Košanová. And thank you very much. And we're looking forward to see you again in the afternoon.